Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Power of Knowing Forums LinkedIn Live episode 144. Today, we are having a discussion on the topic of leadership beyond office, the role of the presence in personal branding. To have this topic discussed, we have the honor of having Sandeep Gupta, a professional speaker, conscious coach, design thinking expert, business consultant, and Samta Datta, growth leader, strategy, marketing, and brand communication. Without further ado, let's bring our speakers on to the dais. Hi, Sandeep. Hi, Samta. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Good,
Prem.
sir.
It's a pleasure to be back on your show. A fantastic show. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. So, we'll start off with a discussion point of view because we have two speakers today. And how do we look at leadership evolved beyond office, particularly when it's coming to personal shape, personal brand? And can you share some examples? Over to you, sir.
Prem, if you permit me, because different words mean different things, or words mean different things to different people. So, can we, all the three of us be on a common page? What does branding mean?
Hmm.
And then, so that even as listeners, our viewers are on page with us and what we speak, right, and discuss is understood the way we want them to understand. If you permit. So,
Yes, sir.
okay, thank you, Prem. Or, okay, Samta, would you like to go ahead with what is a brand? Define a brand?
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Prem. Of course, brand can mean different things to different people, but in terms of personal branding, because that is the topic today, if we focus, brand is truly the identity by which you're known. Brand is basically the parameter by which people make a prediction about how are you going to behave in a certain scenario. It's your identity. It's how you are getting recognized for everybody else. It's your pure reflection. So yeah, in simple terms, that's brand.
Okay, and just taking forward what Samta said, it is your graphic nameplate. It's your graphic nameplate which communicates to the people what is so special about you and what is so different about you. And what does that nameplate hold? It professes your purpose, your values, your promise, your personality, and your reputation. Take Tata's brand. The moment you see the brand Tata, the sense of trust comes in. So, Prem, I think we have defined brand pretty clearly. Back to you. You're the host. Prem, we can't hear
Ah,
you.
Can't hear
sorry,
you, Prem.
I was on. Yeah. So, an important point that you mentioned, it's a title or a tag that is there as a brand for you, right? Very, very important point that has come up while we take as a brand. Sir, how does the role of leadership evolve beyond office, sir?
Okay, I'll take the first part. The second part, I'll allow my colleague and my brand expert to take it forward. You see, number one, it's rather ironical. It is rather, what should I say? Confining leadership to office is a big, big mistake which we are doing. Everyone is a leader. Don't you lead your family? Don't you lead your friends group? Don't you have a voice? So I'll come to the characteristics of a leader. What does a leader do? The leader inspires, the leader influences, and the leader motivates. Now, General Powell is a four-star US Army general, and the army is supposed to be very regimented, very hierarchical, very discipline oriented. Yes, it is discipline oriented, but what Powell has to say? He says leadership is not about strategies. Leadership is not about plans. Leadership is not about achievements. Leadership is all about people. Now, Samta, I hand it over to you to take it forward.
Um, Thank you again. I I kind of agree with there with Sandeep. I think leaders, because of the current scenario, we have kind of boxed the leadership term only limiting to a corporate scenario of leaders. Leaders are in the jungle, leaders are in the society, leaders are in the home, leaders are everywhere. And leadership is a quality, is a characteristic that one identifies with themselves at so many times, right? So it is not really that in a certain corporate structure you will, when you will be awarded a certain designation, you become a leader. That's just a designation, and that will fly off, um, you know, in times to come. But leadership essentially is a quality that needs to be developed, and everybody, like Sandeep said, has that quality that needs to be honed, to be taken out and propelled to be able to experience excellence within themselves.
Taking that, in a presence where we are more, where a digital presence is matters a lot today. And how can leaders ensure their personal brand remains authentic? And are there some key strategies or lessons learned from your journey on this?
Samta, all yours. But Prem, there's an echo. I can hear an echo. Do you hear
I
that?
think it is coming from the mic that you are having, sir. Can you check
From
on?
my mic?
Yeah,
Okay, then should I change the mic?
if it is possible, that would be great, sir.
Yes, let me do it. Is it okay, Prem?
Yeah,
Let
better
me.
now, sir.
Okay, it is still coming a little bit.
Yeah, I think you are very close to the mic. If you can move little behind, that would help.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
So, Samta, would you take
yeah.
it?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think why I would just take a step back and tell you, Prem, why leaders require branding. Leaders require branding because they need to be present when they are not present. They need to be felt when they are not felt. They need to be, with their name, a certain emotion needs to be attached. Like in the very beginning, Sandeep was mentioning, the minute we say Ratan Tata, Mukesh Ambani, or any other leader in other arena, there is a certain emotion we are filled with, right? When we have to create a persona that lives beyond that person, we need, personal branding. And leaders do, as we take on the role, any role in society where we are expected to take people alongside, we need personal branding. And if you are anybody that needs, that actually lead in any arena, you need personal branding, because you need to be there when you're there. When you're not there, you need to be felt. Just encompassing it in a very, very layman terms, so that everybody understands why personal branding is required in your leadership journey. Sandeep,
And
you would like to add on something?
yes, I'll add. Prem, you were talking of today's social media thing. I think this is what you had in mind while you asked us the question. The social media has definitely changed the dynamics. There is a popular belief that you got to be out there, present there, out there, you know. But the truth is that when you develop a good brand, when you develop a
Hmm.
solid brand, whether you are there on social media or not, Like Samta said, you are very much there. How much do you see Ratan Tata, or for that matter, Mukesh Ambani, or for that matter, even Narayan Murthy, promoting themselves on social media? Because they are present in various events where they're recorded and their recordings are put on the social media, or they're interviewed and the interviews are put on the social media. But they
Correct.
themselves coming on social media saying, "Hey, I'm there," that doesn't happen, yes. But at the same
Yes.
time, when the brand is being developed, some amount of visibility is necessary, because if you're not there, people will not know you. But what is
Yeah.
more important is what you attach to the brand, what you feed to the brand, so the brand grows bigger than social media.
Exactly, exactly. Because social media is just a way to communicate. It's a medium at the end of the day. The values need to be of the leaders need to be communicated. Social media is just a platform or a medium to sort of reach out and connect, amplify your connection, basically.
Okay.
That, brings me to another example. Shah Rukh Khan.
Hmm.
You find him all over social media. Why? Because people derive power by showcasing him on the social media. It is not Shah Rukh Khan himself on social media.
Correct.
And that is the power of the brand. That's the power of
Agreed.
brand of Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah. Coming to that point, sir, where see you are talking about bringing somebody. How does this empathy play a role in shaping personal brand and that resonates with diverse audience from freshers to executives? Can you have an example that can help us build a stronger leadership presence?
Samta, why don't you take it? Let me adjust my speaker. Just take it forward, Samta.
Guys, can you hear me? Because I'm kind of a little bit of a connection issue. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Guys? Yes.
Yeah,
That's super. Yes, I think like when as I was saying, like where empathy and leadership and go hand in hand. But I fundamentally believe empathy or compassion. Can you hear me, guys?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, they go hand in hand. When you start having an impact on people that are in numbers, you need to have that emotional intelligence to be able to be of any value to them. At the end of it, like Sandeep said in the very beginning, leadership is all about people, right? And leadership does not come with telling them what to do. Most times it is just taking off the load from them and allowing them to do their best. So
Hmm.
empathy plays a big role. As a leader, your leadership skills are actually tested in the time of crisis, not in the time of making a strategy, not in the time of going about doing things. It is tested in the time of crisis. And if you don't know how to manage people, chances are that crises are not going to be solved. So empathy plays a huge role. And it starts very much at home. you know um,
Okay.
Leadership at home, how you see both your parents kind of saying, adding on to the dynamic of being a parent and leaders at home, kind of shape that up for you. So empathy is a very important and significant characteristic, I would say, especially in the brands of today, especially in people of today's time, because we are not like, it's not like Napoleon Bonaparte is actually leading the entire army, French army, and without really any face or value. It is very much that everybody has an access to you today. So they understand and know you. They know your persona, your manners. Today you're very traceable thanks to cameras all over. So, we need to develop a very high level of, emotional intelligence, to be able to motivate people and align people with our same cause.
Okay. Now, coming to that part of discussion, how can uh, uh, personal brand make a pivotal role in career where you have seen a lot of challenges and how that uh, zeal of making yourself as a important in personal branding can be done. I'll rephrase the question. Sorry. Can you share a pivotal moment in your career where you realize importance of personal branding and what are the challenges you faced? So I wanted to rephrase that. Sorry about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Samta, can you hear me?
Sandeep, should I take it or are you taking it?
Sandeep, you are on mute. Sandeep, we cannot hear you.
Sandeep?
Yeah, just a minute. You go ahead, Samta. Meanwhile, I think there's some challenge. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. No, to just answer your question, Prem, I'll start with an example. In my own journey, I think I've experienced that, personal brand or personal, equation that I created with the teams that I was leading was very important part of my journey and my success. To be very honest, case in point, I would say, um, I had a teammate who got a fabulous offer,
Mhm.
promotion, double
Okay.
the salary, to join another competitive organization. And frankly, hand on heart, he had no reason to sort of continue because he was getting, it's one lifetime. He has every, reason to go ahead and invest in the progress that he's getting. However, he chose to align with the team that I was leading. And he said, Sam, I want you as my leader, and I see my success alongside you. That,
Mhm.
for me, is the biggest compliment that ever came in my journey of leadership. Personal brand is very required when you are aligning and going as a force and walking together at a long path. If you are not aligned, together as team, you will not be able to take people forward or accomplish the task. To just, even if you are brilliant, but you don't have the alignment with the rest of the team that you are taking along, chances are sooner than later it is all going to fall like a pack of cards. So it's very important. It's as important as success. If success is important to you, personal branding and people aligning with you and your vision should be very important to you.
Sandeep.
Prem, let me share today's what happened today with me.
Yes, Sandeep.
I'd gone for a meeting with a client, and the entire team was there. And I saw that some members of the team of my client, were being unduly aggressive with me.
Mhm.
They were trying to cut me, they were trying to quieten me. And later on, when the chairman's daughter, she rang me up, she said, "How did the meeting go?" Because she was also there. She said, "I saw ABC, trying to dominate you or drive away the discussion, from you to them. But the chairman, my father said, Sandeep is a good ethical man. Let's go ahead with him,
Okay.
because he can get the work done." So
Absolutely.
now this sentence, demonstrates the impression they have about me, the persona which they see about me. So my brand, like Samta said, was very much there when even I was not there. So yes, the
Mhm.
challenges in life, it's never a linear path, it's always ups and downs all around. And usually these ups and downs are created by your peers, by your colleagues, by your competitors, by people who don't like you.
Yeah,
And if you have a good brand, people do come to your support, people do recognize you, and they help you out.
yeah,
But the
Absolutely.
brand has to be healthy. I use the word healthy. So I've just shared an example. What happened today?
that's very important, I think, Sandeep. So, in most of the cases, I'll take one example which I had in my previous organization, where how the brand matters. So, we had a customer, and I don't want to name the organization where that happened. We had a customer, and uh, we had bid for a project, and the project did not come to us. So we asked our chairman to meet the customer in the morning tomorrow. We called up our customer chairman and said, "Sir, we have built the project, and this is what happened, and the competition has got the project. So we wanted you to have a kind of a call with the customer." So my chairman travels to the customer location in the morning around 7. He leaves and he reaches the client location at 8:30, and he has a breakfast with them, and he does not talk anything on the project at all. And he talks about general thing, and while he's moving out, the customer gives him the order saying this order is with you. So So I was surprised when I came to know that that issue, that pointer happened. And what I understood from that time is your brand as a person, as the organization chairman of the organization meets the customer, the order which is gone from your hand also can turn to you, right? So that's one thing that I learned when I met my chairman of this organization, and it was it was not a small order; it was about 400 crores. So because
Wow.
I had my chairman meeting them, the order turned to us. Otherwise, we would have said, "Yeah, we've lost it. Going chairman going will not help." But the brand which he carried and the persona that he carried brought us the order is what I take from what you said just now. I wanted to relate that pointer here as well. Coming to our next thing, from your vantage point as a leader, what insights do CEOs or top executives understand the importance of personal presence, both online and offline, in the current digital era?
Can I?
Sandeep, you want to go first? Yes, please, please.
There are two types of leaders. One are dynamic leaders, and one are dynamite leaders. So,
Okay.
so let's put the dynamites aside. They blow up everything. Coming to the dynamic leaders, one set is, who are skeptical about themselves, and one who are very confident about themselves.
Hmm.
The ones who are very confident about themselves make sure that their team is integrated very well in their vision, and they are very well integrated in the vision of the team.
Hmm.
As a holistic team, they take the goals or the common goals forward. So again, like Samta said, these people are the ones who create their presence without being present. Because the team knows that if anything goes wrong, they are there to back the team, stand by the team. Okay, and then these such people are not bothered whether they are out in the social media, whether they are out on the stage, whether they are out in the magazines, they're giving interviews or not giving interviews.
Yeah.
Now the insecure ones, they're dynamic but insecure for whatever reason. Now, these people want to be everywhere, they want to be seen. Probably they are seeking acknowledgement from the
Yeah.
world, right? So, that is a little bit of a weakness in them. But people who have really made it big, people who are there, are very much there. They
Hmm.
are not bothered about the presence or no presence. Like, let me share one example with you. I read somewhere Rockefeller was going to Australia.
Hmm.
His chappals were dirty and broken. So the
Okay.
plane was supposed to land at Sydney. His secretary comes and says, "Sir, we are landing in Sydney. Why don't you change your chappals?" Rockefeller says, "Who knows me in Australia? What difference does it make?" Okay. He's going back to US. Now he's going to land in New York. The secretary says, "Sir, we are back home. We are landing in New York." He says, "Everyone knows me here. What difference does it make?"
Good answer. Good one.
Yeah. Samta, what would you like to
Yeah.
add?
Over to you, Samta. No, we are not able to hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you unmute me?
Yeah, you are. We are able
We,
to
Can you
we
hear
hear
can
you.
hear
me?
you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think firstly that was really funny. That was really funny, Sandeep. I mean, but I would just like to add, yes, you are also in today's times, in the times that we are living in, your social media presence as a leader is also required. I would not just completely say it's not required. It is required. It is the medium to communicate with the larger, audiences out there, and one cannot really ignore it or brush it under the carpet or say that I can live in my own bubble where there will not be anybody and just my people. So yes, I think as a leader, as a you must focus on your brand and must talk about it, must have some kind of social presence, and open yourself up to other leaders in other dimensions, similar or otherwise. I think it has to be a very organic form of learning. So I'm definitely pro that. Be seen, be heard. It's important, but one cannot have an opinion like Sandeep was saying on everything. One cannot jump onto the bandwagon. One cannot also at the same time um, build. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah. We can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can
Yes.
hear
We
you,
can hear you.
Samta.
Hello. Can you hear me,
Yes,
guys?
Samta, we can hear you. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sometimes technology can be
Hello.
quite.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Okay,
lost
let's
her.
carry on. She'll join again, probably something.
Yeah.
There's some glitch at her end. Yes.
Yeah. She's here. She's joined. Yeah. Go ahead, Sandeep. Yeah.
No, so well, what she was saying, she has a point, right? Therefore, but at the same time, getting obsessed with social media, which a lot of young,
Exactly.
young budding leaders do, and they believe that okay, it's very essential to be out there. Honestly, this is my personal belief. I might be old school, but it's not essential. Just don't get obsessed. But,
Absolutely.
but yes,
Absolutely.
at the same time, have your LinkedIn profile, have your other profiles up to date so that whenever there's an opportunity, a business opportunity or otherwise, people can get a feel of what you stand for.
Hmm.
Absolutely. 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 And I just would like to add to what Sandeep was saying, Prem. A lot of times I see people just talking, people just having an opinion for having an opinion. I mean, and that's particularly sad, especially if you're a startup founder. You have to have a podcast, you have to say every 2 3 months something controversial to get some kind of attention on you. I think that's quite detrimental if you see in a long term. I think that's a very forced fit, trying to make your brand. The brand truly is about your reflection and authenticity. So if you can manipulate it for some time, you can probably make a certain note and notion in somebody's mind for some time. But over a long period of time, if you're not authentic and if your actions don't support what you're trying to build, chances are people are going to see through it. And today, unfortunately or fortunately, we are in a time that everybody has a mic and a place to say. So it's not going to be very very soft on you. So yeah, it's very delicate. How you make your brand and how you build your brand is a very very delicate matter.
You know what
Okay.
Samta said, I totally agree with her. You got to build your brand the organic way. You can't go shopping for a brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is happening today? People are going shopping for a brand. You have a battery and a big army of people saying that we will build your brand. Come on, you don't
Yes.
even know me. What brand will you build? You will build
Exactly.
a perception about me, not my brand. And how long will the perception stay? That is a big, big question mark.
You want to add something, Samta, on that?
Absolutely. I think we all summed it up very very nicely, in that way. Prem, do you have any anecdotes that you would like to dole out? Because I just can
No,
see from your face there is something really bubbling to come out.
yeah. So Sandeep knows this. I just wanted to bring it up here while we talk on the branding part. I started with zero, actually speaking, when we started this podcast. Today we are at the 144th podcast. Still, I'm not having that kind of a brand. I always been telling Sandeep is that I started because of my passion. That passion should drive my brand, right? So that is where I was telling. Sandeep was saying, "Yeah, keep going. Things will happen. Keep going. The brand will be built." So my point was on the same pointer that as his earlier pointer says that when you are when Rockefeller was in US, he said many people know me, right? In Australia, he said people don't know me. I will say people don't know me. I'm still fine with it. But what I'm able to do or think is my passion that should drive my brand. Sandeep, what do you think about this? Sandeep?
Look, number one, passion is definitely very important. Intent is very important. The question is, how do you become visible?
Yeah,
You see, yes, I would say you should use the social media tools to increase your visibility, but not to push your image down
yeah,
someone's.
Absolutely.
true.
Okay,
Yeah,
be there. Because at the end of the day, you are not a film star, right?
true.
You are a knowledge provider. So numbers don't matter. The quality of people who recognize you, that matters. For a film
Yes.
star, for a celebrity, the numbers matter because more and more eyeballs they get, more and more screen they get, you know. But in your case, Prem, it is all value which you are giving to society, it's knowledge you are giving, and the person should be prepared to receive it. So I say the quality of people,
Yeah.
and personally, I believe more and more people are getting connected to you,
Yes.
more and more people know you. So yes, your brand is building.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Out of them, how many do you know personally?
So what
Few.
I will add is like see we I didn't know many of them who are speaking in my podcast, right? So I went with them and as you said, I told this is what I've been doing. I need kind of a guidance from you. And if you look at the logos that I have put down, these are the people who have been helping me to start the podcast. My earlier company, which is EH, is the place where I started my podcasting journey. Now I came here to eCosmos where they said you can keep continuing your podcast. Now looking at I'm doing the podcast sitting at office. right? So this is the kind of support these people have
Yes,
given me in terms of guiding and doing things. That's I thought that's value. That is the brand I want to give it back to them, and I put them logos there. So I put all the logos who have been supporting me in guiding me in each of the episode that I have done. So if I do an episode, these people come and tell me this is what you can do. This is what are the topics that are
absolutely.
working out for you, and this is what is going to talk to this guy, talk to that person, talk to these people. You can be. Luckily, I struggled for the first 20 plus episodes when I could not find people who can speak. Right today, touch wood that I have people like Sandeep who's coming on to my show on the third time. I am happy to host him multiple times to have him on my show. The point that I'm trying to drive here is that recognition, as what he said, we are putting a lot of knowledge back to the community where it helps them bring a lot of value. Today it may not, but looking at the channels that we have brought in as the place where we can have these recordings, it is doing great. Right. So looking at that point, I wanted to take your view on how these freshers who are entering workforce, they are not ready to know themselves first, and how do they start building their own personal brand while learning to ropes, and what foundation principles should they follow on to build their brand? Sandeep and Samta.
Before we answer that question, there's a question by one Julian Thomas who says,
I
"Dear
am bringing that
Santa,
here. I am bringing that
great to
here.
see
Yes.
you here. Relationship-based selling have become a new norm. How do you connect with this with business?"
Oh, hi, Julian.
Santa.
Yes. How do you connect business to this? I think business is also a kind of relationship. I don't believe in transaction. If you see actually great businessmen over the years, um, they have been very, very strong associations between two business houses, one buyer, one seller of any kind. I will take the point of the Parsi community and our first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, and how they really came hand in hand to build India. So technically, it was a business community trying to come and settle in India, and how Jawaharlal Nehru really took them on board, saying that you will help me build the India of our dreams. So I think you have to learn to see less transaction in everything. Hoga, I mean, whatever you are trying to get, you will reach there. But at every given point, if you will have a yardstick of or an Excel sheet or a balance sheet, if every decision of yours in life is very close to a balance sheet all the time, chances are that you might make money, but you will not hit the jackpot. To hit the jackpot, one needs to be okay, you know keep looking at the number at some point, but don't be married to it. If you are all the time very, very married to okay, I gave this person this, I gave this person this contact, I helped this one there, I mean, no, just be generous in your spirit to give, and be generous in your spirit to take, and stop attaching a transactional value to everything. Yeah, I think that's how you build a stronger connection in business.
Okay, can I add something, Samta, to it?
Please, please, Sandeep, please,
Okay,
from the master.
Julian, what is business in reality? If you really see, it's a socio-economic relationship between three sets of people.
Yes.
And who are the three sets of people? The people who establish the business, people who work for that establishment, and the third set is people who consume the services or the products created by that establishment. Okay, and why are these people helping each other? They're helping each other to help themselves. Now, since it is a human being driven relationship between three sets of people. Like I said, socio-economic. So whatever applies to human beings also applies to business. And wherever human beings come in, brand also comes in, the perception, the persona, right? So if you really think this way, and if you really view it in at its core, brand comes into play. Why should I connect with Samta? Why should Samta connect with Prem? That identity, the values, the impression, the feelings, the purpose, everything comes into play. So, yes, today I do agree that selling has become relationship driven. That means selling has moved away from the four P's: price, product, place, and promotion, to the four E's: emotions, exclusiveness, experience. I'm forgetting the fourth E, right? So, what I'm trying to say, it has moved away from the head to the heart. I think we have been able to answer your question, Julian.
Yeah, I think one more point that I heard from Brian Tracy is that Brian Tracy always says it is more of business is relationship. Very
Yeah.
clearly saying that without relationship you cannot have business, because somewhere some person has to be referred to do something because he's done that thing earlier. So that's the point, that somebody will come to you because you've done something earlier, and that gives them a confidence: when I reach you, you will help me also. Right. So that's the kind of thing that relationship can bring into a business, is what I understand from Brain Tracy's talks. So over to you, Sandeep and Smita.
I totally agree with you. This is what I said. It's a relationship between
Exactly.
three sets of people. And when it's a relationship, what applies to human beings equally applies to businesses.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
see,
Agree.
so
I think, Julian, I think we answered your question. If there's anything that you want to look at, please comment and we will bring it up onto the screen again. Thank you, Julian, for that question. Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, Sandeep.
yeah, so let's get back to our question. You were asking something. We got lost.
Yeah, how do, as I'll repeat the question now, people starting from people starting to get into the business of workforce, or freshers getting into the workforce, how can they stay uh, building up their brand while learning the ropes, and what foundational principles should they focus on? Is that point that I wanted your inputs, Sandeep and
Samta, will you
Prem.
go first or should I?
No, no, please take on. Please take on.
Okay, let's take the case of a child. The child goes to nursery, then KG, then first, then second, then third. What happens? The knowledge is built slowly and gradually. Similar is the case with brands. They are built over a period of time. When you are just entering the industry, your focus should be known as a hard, intelligent worker. A worker who's prepared to take the challenge and produce. That should be your focus. As you move up the ladder, the risk taking ability should be there. As you
Hmm.
move up, decision making stuff has to come in. So you got to plan your career journey. You got to plan your self development. Right from day one, if you want to be like your MD, it's never going to happen because your
Yeah.
MD is there, or the vice president is there, or the senior vice president is there after 25 years, after 30 years. And let me tell you one thing, that experience also is a big, big contributor to brand building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Santa, you would like to go?
Yeah, I think I will just add on to what Sandeep said. I think it comes, when you start workforce, Prem, most of us, and I will count myself in those people, we don't end up taking ourselves very seriously. We
Hmm.
are just happy with, you know being part of everybody, I would just call it like the cattle class. We don't want
Mhm.
to be differentiated. We don't want to be coming under any kind of we don't want to celebrate our differences, our characteristics, that or our strengths that stand us out. We are very scared, and we don't believe in ourselves so much, and which is fine, which is absolutely fine. But over the course of years, I will tell you, to develop your skills, to understand, have a deep understanding of your core strengths, and to be able to stand alone. If you focus on all these things, even you do or you don't, you are already building a brand for yourself. If you are known in an organization for something that is so unique that only this person can do, or this person has a skill on, you're already differentiated. Most of us are very scared to stand alone and build a brand. And building a brand is all about learning to stand alone, to be individualistic. So at some, I think, midpoint in our journey, we realize the merit of being a leader. So I think my advice to anybody young in the force is, as you're working, be courageous, and enjoy the difference, enjoy what your characteristics are, learn to stand out, take the opportunities that build you.
Okay,
Brilliant.
great insight.
And let me add one thing. Let me make it easier for you guys to stand out.
Yeah.
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 There are five factors, which you got to bring into your purpose, thoughts, and actions. And what are the five factors? Personal values.
Hmm.
Number two, your vision about yourself. When you're clear what you want to achieve, you contribute much more and you align with the organization's vision, right? Number three, credibility. Everyone
Hmm.
likes credible people. Number four, impact. You got to create an impact. It
Yeah.
might be small, but believe me, when you create an impact, people might not, or your bosses might not acknowledge it openly, but they observe everything. Everything is observed.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And consistency. You see, and today's generation in their rush, the youngsters, in the rush to earn money, in the rush to climb the ladder, they land up sacrificing consistency. And
Yeah.
tomorrow, as a hirer, the first thing which I look is is has the person been consistent? Is he or she a team player?
Hmm.
And what values are you bringing to the organization?
True.
Balance I
True.
can teach you. So, what was supposed to be the soft skills are the hard skills for employment today.
Hmm.
And what were the hard skills have become soft skills because they can be taught over 6 months time period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to you,
No,
Prem.
but with that, I wanted to check on how the leadership people on the listen. I think I spoke in one of the sessions where we said is leaders are alone on the top, right? So how do they think their brand is important, and how do they uh, mold themselves to understand or present their persona as a leader? That's the one pointer that I wanted to understand from you both.
It is very much true. The chair on the top of the pyramid is only one. And since the chair is one, you are alone. And since the chair has got a lot of power, so you find a lot of psycho fans around you who are there not
Okay.
to help you, but to say yes in your yes. In whatever you say, yes. So that becomes a big challenge for most leaders. But then,
Hmm.
being a leader in an organization or being in office is only a small part of your life, of their life. Look at any leader, world over.
Hmm.
They have their families, they have their vacations, they strike a balance.
True.
And it is that balance, which keeps them going. If they don't have that balance, the pressure of that chair will just kill them.
Yeah, I was seeing somewhere where Jeff Bezos is on a yacht, and that photo had come out saying that leaders take time to personally celebrate their time as well. So something like that had come down. So I am resonating to what you are saying, Sandeep. Now, what do you, Samta? What is your thought on it?
I think I think a disproportionate amount of leadership understanding is confined to corporate structures. But
Hmm.
if you just remove that and just understand the ethos of a leader, come what may, it is, he's not a, let's not dehumanize him, and let's not dehumanize ourselves in the journey of becoming one, or honing ourselves to be better. So I think definitely, are they lonely? I think to be a leader, firstly, you have to understand that any person who is led, or any person who's leading, he has proven a track record of something and he has become on that position. So there is already a proof of the pudding that he has kind of crossed over to be able to be taken seriously as a leader. So that is definitely there. Plus there is a streak of can do obsession in leaders, largely, that you see. They have a never give up, a very strong focus to move in a certain direction, and that is why they're able to take a lot of people along. And are they lonely? I think lonely, I think it would be sad to look at them like this. I think they are very, very occupied by their mission, their sense of accomplishment, or their wherever they are going. They're very in tune with that. So that's what they're married to at times. Balance, yes, of course, as a human we need to balance, we need to take, but definitely the focus needs to be very, very clearly there. And all anybody who's proven themselves on the leadership scales, on a track record, has had deep focus towards a certain mission, that or if it is a number, if it is a thing, if it is a seat, if it is a invention, you know uh, the journey is lonely because only they are the ones who are so deeply focused on it, and that is why they are able to take the team along also. So yes, it's the way to look at it, it's the perspective thing. I don't look at it in a very sad manner. I'm very happy that we have leaders that can really focus on one thing and deliver excellence. So yeah.
No, many leaders struggle putting themselves on their out there, especially on social media. How can leadership overcome their fear of judgment and embrace personal branding confidently? What I've seen, to add to that question, I will add few more points. Most of the technical guys, if you see, if you ask them, they will not be in a position to explain, but they can do things. The point that I want to look at, how are leaders looking at that kind of a thing? Is there a same kind of thing that happens with leaders while they put themselves on social media? They fear out, I may not be present well on social media, something like that.
Sandeep, you want to take that?
Yeah, sometimes I'll just shift gears and go back to the previous question. What you said is totally right. They are vision driven. They're semi obsessed to achieve. They're carrying the team over there. But at the same time, what happens behind the stage, it's only the top man or the woman, faces it. And that could be quite unnerving.
Yeah,
And
Yes.
if everything goes well, there are thousands of people to say, brilliant job done.
yeah,
But even if 5% goes wrong, all fingers point towards you,
Yep.
right? So, which brings us to the point that you got to have a support system
Yep.
besides the office, which helps you to stand straight, stand tall, And your inbuilt confidence should be such that you are not deterred by the criticism you face. Okay?
Hmm.
True.
So actually, there are no right or wrong answers in these things.
Yes, absolutely, Sandeep.
A
There are no
lot,
right or wrong answers.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot depends on the person in
Yeah.
that chair.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And now being out in the social media, right? Social media is a double-edged sword. The question is whether you are riding social media or social media is riding you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You see, if you allow social media to ride you, you are in for a huge disaster in every dimension of your life.
Hmm. Yeah.
But if you're intelligent enough and you know the boundaries, Samta mentioned the boundaries to start with. If you know the boundaries, it's a brilliant place to be. So everything is good and bad. And similarly, even for the artificial intelligence, which we are using so much today,
Yeah.
a lot of people are allowing AI to be their pilots. They're heading
Hmm.
for a disaster.
Absolutely.
But yes, people like me, people like Samta, the max we allow is to AI to be is a co-pilot.
Yeah.
Final
Yeah.
decision is ours. And same with you, Prem. I know. For you, AI is a co-pilot. It's
Yeah.
not your pilot. The
No,
decision
AI is an enabler for me,
is an
Sandeep.
enabler.
It's just an enabler for me. And I get lot of insights, but decision is still mine. So I take
Exactly.
your point there. Yeah.
Yeah. So similarly, in brand building, you can use AI, you can use social media, but then what do you want to project? That has to be you, not social media.
So, exactly.
Yeah, Samta, all yours.
No,
All yours, Sandeep.
I completely second. It is not for faint-hearted, and I know of many CEOs that are, that are just playing very classically with social media. You have to understand on social media, you in times like today, forget social media. You can't be taken like the leaders of yesteryears. You can't
Hmm.
be painted in a same color all over. You cannot be monochromatic. There is a dimension, and at some point, you have to be a little thick skinned. You have to learn to develop a thick skilled around. See, like I say in a very important phase in I can repeat that a lot. बात उन्हीं की होती है जिनमें कोई बात होती है. So matlab, it's just to translate. If you are worthy enough to be spoken about, you will be spoken about. So it is not for faint hearted. And as a leader, if you are very sensitive to अरे ये क्या हो गया, what is this happening, I got a pot shot here and there, it is not probably a place for you. But the good part is there is anything on social media is very short lived. So today you are
Hmm.
making a disaster, and hopefully 3 days down the line somebody else will. So you should know how to use this to your advantages, and be okay with that. Your strike rate would not be 100%, because if you are trying to have a strike rate of 100%, chances are nobody is really your following. There is no community that you have, because if you
Hmm.
don't have vulnerability, if you don't have anything to if you don't have any deformation, probably there is nobody looking at you. So it's
Okay.
just like that. I don't know whether I'm making sense or not. So allow yourself to be pinched in once here or there. So that's totally okay. Don't take yourself so seriously, because social media is not a medium of the do gooder, be goody goody. People can see through it
No.
and they don't want it. So one needs to learn how to operate here.
And can I just take it
I,
forward?
Yes, please,
yeah.
Sandeep. Add on.
People don't realize that they are the peop that they are unique in whatever they do because they have never been born earlier and they won't be born again. And why do I say so? You see, we are products of two factors, that is nature and nurture.
Hmm.
The way we are nurtured is because of our parents. And our parents were nurtured in a particular way, and their parents were nurtured in a unique way, in a different way. So when you sum everything together, the entire thing cannot be replicated. And even in future, as your kids, as your generations go forward, they'll be nurtured in their own way. So no replication is possible. Now, since you are unique and the brand represents you, and the brand represents you, even your brand is unique. Don't try to make your brand a replica of any other brand. You
Yeah,
got to recognize that uniqueness in you.
absolutely,
You
absolutely,
got to stand by your uniqueness, and believe me, if you
absolutely.
stand by it, people would love you, people would get back to you, people would appreciate you,
Yeah,
they would
Yeah.
connect with you. And what social media is doing is just removing all these differences and putting all people together.
yeah.
True. True. And then with that, on the legacy part of titles, what advice would you give to someone whose personal brand to transit their current role or title, and how can they ensure their presence is has a lasting and meaningful impact? This would be our concluding question because we are on top of the hour.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, how do you create legacy in today's time as a brand? That's what you're asking.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Your presence and lasting impression, making a meaningful impact, is what I'm trying to look at from a brand prospect per se.
Okay, Sandeep, will you take it till I fix the light at my end?
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Whatever we say creates an influence on people. Whatever we do creates an influence on people. The influence could be bad or good. And a perception is created, and that perception is our brand.
Hmm.
Okay. And what brand would stay even after you? In simple terms, this is your question is legacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you look at the larger good of society, if you look beyond yourself and help people with an open heart, that is going to survive after you have gone. And you'll be known for that. If you
Bilkul.
get transactions at every level of your life, people will say, Acha hua chala gaya. Means it's good the person has gone. And if you say, and if you just keep giving freely, nature doesn't accept anything free, it comes back to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And you keep giving freely, when you go away, they'll say, so sad the person has gone. Now who will care? So, guys, the choice is yours. That's what I'll say. Yes, Samta.
Samta, over to you.
I would say Prem in the times of today. The answer would be very different. It was, if it had it been another time, but in times of today, the best way to be remembered is to be able to accept that you will not be remembered, you will not leave a legacy, and allow yourself to die multiple times in your social life, in your branding journey. Because
Okay.
agar if you are very obsessed with the legacy, chances are you are going to create a very tight boundary of your brand, and because of that you will not stand unique, and because of that you will not be remembered, and because of that you will not be able to create a legacy or a mind space in that consumer in the first place. So I think in the times of today's, uh, the I the only way to create a legacy is not to worry about one, not
Yeah.
to stand always correcting, not to second guess yourself all the time, and try to make a legacy, because that's a sure short way not to have one. But I'll give you one example, and this is a classical one, just to juxtapose it with what I just said. I think I just happened to be in a Taj property recently, and I was deeply touched by Ratan Tata's true brand. I'll tell you, one is Tata, the brand, the company, and one is Mr. Ratan Tata. And I have, so many times on social media, encountered the fact that he's a dog lover, and he's so passionate about it. He's making dog hospitals, all of that. I keep reading about it, and I'm like, more power to you, Mr. Tata. But I actually went in a Taj property in Chikmagaluru. So it's not like something, in Mumbai, in Chikmagaluru. I go there, and they come in, and they know that it's a pet friendly hotel. That's why we booked it. And they came in, and they had a designated corner for my dog. They came in, they put a carpet on, they gave two bowls, one for his water, one for his food. They placed it there. They gave me a small little pouch of toiletries, like they give it for us, for the dog. And I was
Okay.
like, thank you so much. And I'm like, and then on the menu, they had a dog menu right sitting next
Okay.
to mine. And I was so deeply touched. And every staff member wanted to play with the dog, say hello. I mean, that's good enough. And I was so deeply touched of what Mr. Ratan Tata stands for is cascading down to his property, to everything that he has created. And that's for me is how he's touched me. That for me is, I'm 100% always going to live in a Ratan Tata property or a Taj property, because I know he's deeply touched me by how he has cascaded his value system. So that's for me is legacy. Your true character coming out, your kindness really coming out, is true legacy. But at the same time, I would just say for young brands, don't really take yourself so seriously, and be the pain in the neck for others. Don't worry about legacy. Yeah, legacy will be made if you are unique enough, if you stand out, if you're daring enough, if you're courageous enough. So yeah.
Yeah.
Prem, legacy would be made in any case, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is.
True.
Yes, sir.
Each one
Yes.
of us leaves a legacy. Now the question is, what legacy do you want to leave?
True.
True. True.
As simple as that.
Okay.
True.
But great, sir. With this, we would like to conclude our show. It has been great discussing with you both, Sandeep and Samta. We are live on LinkedIn, and we stream it to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram live here. Hope this discussion was valuable. Thank you for joining us. Our next episode is on lead manage thrive, the art of time and people for lasting success on 17th September at 6:30 p.m. IST. Looking forward to see you again.
Prem,
Good day. Goodbye, sir. Yes, sir. You're saying something?
if you permit me,
Yeah.
uh, I would like to tell our viewers that look, in case you liked what we discussed, you can get in touch with us, with me,
Yeah.
Sandeep Gupta. You will have to type in Sandeep Gupta Delhi on LinkedIn. Samta.
Yeah, I'm bringing that screen down, sir. The data is getting scrolled as a speaker. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, right. And probably we can help you out. Just get in touch with us because we are also coming out with a program where we'll have three components. One is the branding, the second is the presence, and the third is speaking in a way that you shine under the spotlight.
Yes, sir. Please reach out to Sandeep and Samta on the link scrolling down. With this, we would like to conclude. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Samta. It's been great having you both on the session. Stay tuned. I'll be back with you in some time. Well, with this, we will end our show for today. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prem, so much. Thank you.
बोलिए